Hey everyone, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network, and it's Monday night. And I told you it was going to be kind of an icky week. I don't know, I forgot how I put it, but it's pretty gross. I know that we are in a place where we don't want to be in any way, manner, shape, or form. And that's why it's really important to get into gratitude about the little things in your life that are just lovely. Like my lovely little decorations and my cute little Judy, the democracy elf. I think it was Elliot. I think we called the other one Elliot. We have to lighten ourselves up as much as possible. And since we're absorbing, anyone who's paying attention, and we need to be paying attention, tell your friends and neighbors they need to be paying attention. They're being forced to pay attention because the price of everything is so high, and Trump, true to form, is destroying and bankrupting the United States of America. And his behavior lately is just completely bombastic and off the rails, probably worse than we've seen before. I know he attacks reporters all the time, but what we're seeing now is him. He actually called a reporter evil today. She was evil because she asked him a question, and he's telling them, that you're terrible, and you're like, they just ask a question, and then he just hurls insults. It is such the demonic at work here. So let's take a look at a few things. And I know the vote on releasing the Epstein files is supposed to happen tomorrow. I'll ask a pendulum. This is the one that I have handy. If that's going to happen, is that vote going to happen tomorrow? Is the vote going to happen tomorrow? It's up in the air. As of right now, it's up in the air whether that vote will happen. All right, so let's see if we can get a little bit more information. Is there currently some kind of an obstruction happening? Yeah, there's some kind of an obstruction happening to the vote happening. I'm not saying that it won't take place, but the pendulum is clearly telling me there's some kind of an obstruction, plan for obstruction happening on the vote. He's guilty as hell. The stupidity of thinking that he's hiding by saying that, by fighting releasing the files is just like, how stupid does he think we are? He's projecting his stupidity onto us. He thinks we're all, like he says, AOC has a low IQ and Jasmine Crockett has low IQ. Hello? What do they call that? Pot calling the kettle black? So I want to say that I know it's stressful, and I know that it affects how we feel. It affects our physiology. I was long overdue. I just made a huge pot of vegetable soup. I'm going to add some miso, and I do that weekly usually, but I kind of had fallen off. So do things like that. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, because it literally has a toxifying effect on your physiology to be bearing witness to the most heinous person in history, really, that we've ever borne witness to in history in our lifetimes. The most heinous, horrible person who is courting our enemies in the White House and turning our White House into, I don't know, Hotel 6 or something. So I'm going to read you this. I read it off the ledge a couple days ago. The quote by Mahatma Gandhi, because it helps to have it here just to read it. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible, but in the end they always fail. Think of it always. Keep that in mind. Keep your focus. I'm going to pull 3 cards on is he going to be stopped? Really? Really? This is the trauma of it. This is such a massive piece of the trauma of it. That the MAGA Republicans are going along with even this. That the MAGA Republicans are going along with letting people go hungry. They're going along with letting people just die because they lose their health care, because they have to accrue all this wealth. Letting people's business go bankrupt because of the grand bankrupter that he is, but because he's made enemies of the world, putting all these tariffs into effect, right? Businesses are failing. And January 6th never happened. The list goes on and on and on. So they're all going to hell too. It's going to be quite a handbasket that they're going in. All right, 3 cards about, I mean, the 25th Amendment is there for a reason. And he swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. Yeah, right? He might as well have sworn an oath to destroy our Constitution and to destroy the United States of America. It's been a horrible year, but I want us all to keep our eye on the ball. I've been talking about the research and experiments that have been done, and I mentioned Lynn McTaggart. I'm going to look more into her work, what she does. But they've done studies where people all together focused on having a peaceful outcome at some place in the world. And it happened. And I think the reason that despite all this insanity, we're still okay, relatively, right? Is a result of we the people keeping our eye really focused on the goal. We need to come back. We need to heal. And hats off to the people in Charlotte, North Carolina, who got out there. I was so happy to see it and protested ICE. I think they were saying, fuck ICE, while they were marching. And, I know that this is so hard. My whole demeanor takes a turn for the worst when I hear about what ICE is doing to mothers and their children, ripping the children away. I cannot handle this. So I'm saying this because I know that you feel the same way. And we've got to stop. I did make a call to Elizabeth Warren today, left a message about how livid I am that ICE is being allowed to do what they're being allowed to do. Not that we're saying, go ahead and do it, but just that we've got to start a movement at least. So I was glad to see the people in Charlotte, North Carolina, making a huge statement. So what I'm asking about is, are we going to, is he going to be stopped? I've asked this question before. And remember, I always say that he was Mussolini in a past life, and that Mussolini notoriously got away with everything. And somebody left in the comments, I hadn't really looked it up, but somebody left in the comments that Mussolini did that for 20 years before he didn't, before it all came tumbling down. So when I ask about that, okay, we're working on it. It is being worked on. And as I look at this, I do feel the MAGA Republicans, of course not all of them, but I do feel a lot of them defecting. And I think that what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think what happened to her where she suddenly got all these death threats, because I have so low views on YouTube, I'm kind of wondering, should I say this? Is it that I always bring up Putin? It might be. But all this, all these death threats and being intimidated because you said something and all that's straight from the Kremlin. Anyway, I do see MAGA Republicans getting to the end of their rope and just defecting. I do. They're working on, they're starting to feel like, they've been backing this guy all along. She showed up at Joe Biden's State of the Union address dressed in MAGA, everything MAGA. It was like, A Halloween costume. Who are you for Halloween? I'm MAGA. I'm sure she wouldn't have to explain it if it was a Halloween costume. It would be obvious. And Joe Biden, God love him, he just... he greeted her as if she was like his grandchild or something. Good old Joe. This is, we don't have to be where we are. We do have to dig our way out of it. But this is America. I mean, this is like we're in the wrong dimension. Will he be stopped? I have the Queen of Cups. You know what I noticed recently? That women are all, like there's a woman running in Tennessee. I think it's, I forget if she's running for Senate or representative or what, but I'll look it up. Anyway, I was listening, but I didn't write down her name. Against this MAGA robot guy. Robo-MAGA. So I see the Queen of Cups, and with all these women getting voted in, thank God, there will be shifts happening. The Knight of Swords. The question is, that I'm asking, is does he get stopped? And the more we feel trapped, the same time that we're feeling trapped, there is movement. There is cosmic energy coming in. There is movement for the good. It's kind of under the surface. It's hard to see it if you're just looking at what's going on and, whatever actual news source you watch. But the Knight of Swords is saying that there's some fighters, and the fighters will keep fighting. Lindsay Halligan is in big trouble. Actually, just because I mentioned her name, the one who's supposed to prosecute James Comey with no experience in front of a grand jury. The judge read her the riot act. So I probably should read some cards that are nefarious. I'm going to just read on Lindsay Halligan. I know it's tough, you guys. I get it. And part of the reason I'm not doing live streams anymore is it just got to be too much. It would have been different if it was helping my income, but it wasn't. And by the way, I've had 2 people book readings. I did 2 readings today. Thank you. And if you book a reading, I'm going to be thanking you on my videos. When you book a reading, I will be thanking you on my videos. Even if I just say I booked a couple readings. It got to be, a self-care kind of thing that I don't want to be a martyr. Love you guys. It's just that YouTube is keeping me so small. Like, it hurts my heart that YouTube doesn't make my channel bigger, the number of views. But anyway, on to Lindsay Halligan. I just have to go into my corner and just be upset for a while sometimes. I have the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's going to be exhausting for her. Yeah, the Sword of Truth. Yeah, the Sword of Truth takes her down out of her position. I wonder if she's going to have to serve prison time. Is Lindsay Halligan going to be held accountable? It's funny because when the whole James Comey thing first came out, I mean, my first thought is, these people are so stupid. He was the head of the FBI. It's not like he doesn't know how law works and how justice works and how the whole system works. And she's like, I don't know, a bimbo. Is Lindsay Halligan going to be held accountable for? Yeah, she will be held accountable. She'll lose her bar license. I'm sure. I don't even have to really ask that, but I will. Will she lose her bar license? Yeah. Yeah. No, I never thought the Comey thing was going to go anywhere. But the Sword of Truth is going to cut her down. And the 9 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. The 9 of Cups is all this is James Comey in the position of, I don't think there's going to be any trial or anything. Let's ask this. Is the judge going to just dismiss the case? Is the judge going to dismiss the case? I have a yes. So she just dug herself a big old hole. A big old hole. All right, let's see. Let's pull 3 cards about the orange monster. This is the hard part. We're in the really hard part where he just starts fraternizing with our enemies. I mean, the Crown Prince, I think, is coming tomorrow. Mohammed bin Salman. I'm sending love to the Khashoggi family. 3 cards. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard about the orange monster. And we're so angry that like the military's not taking him out of it. We're so angry. I know. I get it. I get it. Because if you had somebody in your own life that behaved in this manner, you know, like they would have no friends. Everyone would hate them. They'd probably be the ones that like showed up at the bar, and you know, anybody that behaved like Donald Trump, he would have nobody. People would just run away. And this smelly piece of you know what is in the position of running our country into the ground. The 5 of Pentacles, he's losing his mind. The 6 of Wands, he's losing his mind. The King of Cups, he is being ruled by our enemies. I gotta just tell you this. He's under the control of our enemies. We've got to take our country back. Irony of ironies, those are the words that he used on January 6th when he was revving up his people to host a deadly attack on our capital. And he's back in the White House. Yeah, it's amazing. So that brings me to the question. Since he's playing host to some really, he's sold out our country. Since he's playing host to these countries, it's all about the power and the money and the power and the money and the money and the power and the money. Is anything going to be done about that? Remember the Hatch Act? Remember that? Remember, you know, presidents and even Supreme Court Justice, everybody had to declare what gift that they got. I remember Sotomayor had to, and I think Ketanji Brown Jackson, like they would declare, like somebody gave Sotomayor a bag of bagels and she had to like account for it. I think it was under $12, so it was right around that ballpark number, and so she had to kind of, you know, declare it as a Supreme Court Justice. How the hell did we get here? What's going to happen with him fraternizing with the enemies and selling our country out? What's going to happen? The King of Wands and the Emperor. It's going to be... There he is. And the King of Wands is... Let me get a clarify here. This is the 5 of Pentacles. He's definitely compromised. I mean, for all that Trump goes on and on and on about how wealthy he is and how he's bringing all this money into this country, right? I have the Emperor and the King of Wands. This is like him thinking he's the Emperor, but the King of Wands is the message from the people. So what's going to happen is he thinks he's all that in a cup of tea, and I get the sense that they're not taking him for real. These other leaders, they're not. He sprayed somebody with cologne the other day. The leader of Syria, was it? I don't know. It's hard to keep up with everything. Let me pull 3 more cards about that. Like, what's going to happen? Let's use these cards, because this isn't really the nefarious cards question. This is more a question about us as a nation. It's weird, because I feel like these leaders of our enemy countries, I feel like they don't really think that this is going to last. And speaking of that, I can't even believe when I hear people like, I won't mention names, but on YouTube channels, that pro-democracy channels, where do they get off saying, we have 3 more years of this? Are they looking at this guy? He looks like death warmed over. And oh my gosh, he sounded awful at that presser today. He sounded like he had the worst sore throat and he hadn't slept in 3 weeks. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about what's going to happen with him selling and being bribed and selling our country out. Is anything going to be done? So mad today. So mad. What ICE is doing to families, it put me in a place that I just... We got to do something. Well, it's going to be that we are really hurting bad before... It's like America's always so late to the game, right? Have we caught up yet? Have we, do we get it yet? Do we get what's going on yet? Massive amounts of pain. That just illustrates what we're in right now. The Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the law and the Constitution. The Knight of Pentacles is, I do think that we get some power back around this issue of what he's doing, violating the Hatch Act and everything else in the Constitution and selling out our country. I know you all want to know what's going to happen with the Epstein files. Let's just ask a couple of pendulum questions. And then I think I'm going to make this a short one. Are the Epstein files going to be buried by the Senate? No. No. Are the Epstein files going to be so heavily redacted that he's not really in them? By Pam Blondie. Are they going to be so heavily redacted that it's going to... Yeah, that's what I see. But it doesn't matter, because we all know. Heavily redacted, yeah. Pam Blondie is going to mess this up. Is it temporary? It's temporary. She's going to mess it up, but it's going to be temporary. Will the files in question right now be released? Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to pull 3 cards to give us some hope. I am. I'm going to pull some cards to give us some hope. I've been writing a gratitude list. I need to get up to 1,000 gratitudes by Thanksgiving. I'm doing pretty good, but that does help. That does help. Okay, so there's a new moon coming up in Sagittarius. I love that. And that's going to be on Thursday. And we have our guided meditation for a Healed America. I just want you to know, the cards don't look great tonight, but we're in a process. We're in a process. I'm going to pull a moon card, because they were just sitting right here. Don't let your past hold you back. Okay, That's a really good message. Don't let your past hold you back. I just want to say that just because we can't see a logical course towards him being held accountable doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Just because we can't see it. Let's finish up with just a few cards. I'm just going to pull 3 cards for our community here. Please book a session, psychic@netion.com. I'm an excellent psychic and can really help you. And I'm an excellent spiritual life coach too. Okay, and we have a winter solstice event coming up. Go to empowermentunlimited.net and get tickets there. It's a Zoom event. Really fun. Our Halloween one was really fun. 3 cards to guide us through this next 24 hours. I think I've been doing videos almost every day. I didn't do one last night. PNNs. So you're getting more. It's just not live. Go inward, go inward, go inward. Go inward, go inward, go inward. Okay, so these are good cards to end on. The 8 of Pentacles is just really stay focused on what we need to have happen. I've been talking about that. We're approaching this from an energetic standpoint. This is an energy battle between the light and the dark, right? I can't even believe he called a reporter evil today. Talk about projection. So the Hermit, I've been getting this message repeatedly. We've got to be meditating. We have to be meditating. If you don't know how, I mean, the guides just keep telling me this over and over. We have to be meditating. Go to Miracle of Mind, download the free app. If you don't have any clue about meditating, just do that. Because it's consistent. Meditation will make us strong. And really working hard at believing and knowing that we can create the outcome that we want. Okay? If we don't like the way that things are going, we can really focus together on going in the direction that we want. I think it's helpful to me when I watch the good pro-democracy channels that don't say stupid shit like, we have 3 more years of this. We can't survive 3 more years of this. So, I love you lots, and I'll be back tomorrow for Off the Ledge. Please hit the hype button if you see it, and tomorrow's Tuesday. Hang in there, we're still here. Our souls incarnated during this time for a reason, and we're supposed to help to usher in the new age. All right, we're doing it. Love you lots. Namaste.